Hello everyone, and welcome to another royal reading. And I know by now you're all heartily sick of it. I'm heartily sick of it. And I have had to go through my notebook of readings, the list of readings, and just cross them all out, because now there's double the number of readings that are possible, all on terrible topics, upset and mayhem, thanks to this Rich and his book, the Ginger Whinger and his awful book. I'm looking today at a topic that is a very serious topic though, and for that reason I have the Tarot of the Abyss on the tarot table for a short reading. But it's a short reading, as I say, on a serious topic, and that is PTSD. And according to a former army colonel who was on the TV show Lorraine in the UK, it's a kind of a chat show, he said that as somebody who himself suffered from PTSD, he recognizes the signs in Prince Harry, and he says that the deluded Duke, and I'm quoting, this is not my personal opinion, the deluded Duke is spiraling. He's exhibiting self-destructive behavior, which could be the result of PTSD, similar to what he experienced. And he said, if you're not aware that you're suffering from PTSD, you do spiral and you get worse and worse, and you do things that are designed to shock. Basically what we are witnessing, according to this former army colonel. And the man goes on to say that one of two things will happen. Either Harry will wake up and realize that he is suffering from PTSD, he has got a very serious problem, and he will go and seek out the correct help, not the help, I'm adding this part, not the help that he currently is seeking out, that's my opinion, or something horrible will happen. So I'm using the Tarot of the Abyss to look at this PTSD story and do a 5-card reading. Is Harry suffering from PTSD? Does he realize that there is something quite seriously wrong with him? And will he wake up and go and get help? Or will something horrible happen? So that's a little 5-card reading. As I shuffle, let's remind you, the tarot reading for entertainment purposes, just my opinion, and also this former army colonel's opinion in this case. And I read on the royals for archetypal purposes. What happens to them, it happens equally to us, and we can learn from what's going on with them, and particularly when it comes to something like PTSD. And of course, there is a disclaimer in the box below. So let's see, does Harry have PTSD? Does he know that he has PTSD? And is he going to wake up and go and get help? Or is something horrible going to happen? Little 5-card reading to warm us up today. Bigger reading coming up next. 5 cards. Underlying energy is the 10 of Cups in reverse. This is somebody who is overwhelmed with emotion, with negative emotion, with grief, with loss, cut off from all the comforts of home and family. The 10 of Cups is really about home and family. It's the little rainbow, the little family gathered looking at the rainbow with their little cottage in the background. And Harry has cut himself off from that. And he is incredibly unhappy. He is going on TV and saying, I've never been happier. And when people say things like that, our marriage has never been stronger, I've never been happier, I absolutely love my job, it's, all that kind of stuff. 10 of Cups is, you're protesting too much. You're trying to convince us of something that you yourself aren't convinced of. So that is the underlying energy, and it's a very telling underlying energy. Tell us the situation, the heart of this reading. What is it? King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles is someone who is very, very stable. That is Harry, the earth sign, but it could also be this army fellow. And because it's somebody who is a leader, who's a boss, who is in charge of people, who is very stable, very grounded, very fair, it just has a good value system, even tempered. Somebody is in command of of the situation, really. And that's ideally where we would like Harry to be. What do we feel about him as a human being? Got nothing to do with this. We're talking about someone who has suffered a trauma in his life, a very serious trauma, and how's he dealing with it. Ideally, we want this King of Pentacles, whether it's as Harry or the army colonel, we want him to be grounded and solid and stable and unshakable. That's the King of Pentacles. That's the goal. The question is he there or not? So the next question in this reading is Harry suffering from PTSD? And I'm not diagnosing, I am doing a tarot reading. Just to remind you, I'm not a mental health expert. I have the Page of Cups in reverse. The Page of Cups, look at this page with the waves crashing around, the storm, and our little page is in reverse here. Pages are communications or messages, and the signal that is coming out of his communication is of someone who is in terrible emotional distress. That is the message we are all getting off him. Never mind the distress that he's causing everyone else. And as this guy said on Lorraine, this is what people suffering from PTSD who don't realize what's going on can do. They can go and cause distress to other people. And here we have somebody, a Page of Cups, who is in distress. We know he's in distress because we've got the 10 of Cups in reverse. So yeah, the message is going out that we are all getting. Whether he's getting it is another question, and that is our next question. Does he know? Does he know that he has got a serious problem, allegedly? Throw one of those in. High Priestess. High Priestess is a mystery. And I don't think he does with that card. I think that he is so caught up in this whole Diana thing. It's my Diana card, one of them. The dead mother, there's the moon. She's gone away. She's now a mystery. He has to communicate with her through other people, other mediums, shall we say, through Megan, through psychics, through the blue box of hair, through the moon, literally. He doesn't know. It's a silence card, and it's a secret and a mystery card. He doesn't know. If that card was in the reverse, I'd say maybe there's a possibility, even if it is something that he is not entirely conscious of. But this to me is, there is a mystery, there is a secret, and he is focusing all his energy on what is lost, what has been taken away, what he can't reach through normal channels of communication. And so he's trying these mystical routes. Can't blame him. I can't, whenever I'm talking about things like this, I have to admit that I too use these kinds of channels of communication, but consciously. And tarot is, of course, one of them. Tarot is kind of looking in a crystal ball and looking at energy and seeing what's going on. That's one of the reasons why people go to tarot readers and why people use tarot, and why I have learnt tarot myself. It's to figure out mysteries. And Harry is trying to figure out a mystery. So our next question is he going to figure this mystery out? This mystery of why he's in so much pain. He's blaming everyone else. He's blaming his family. He's blaming the media. He's blaming the British people. But is he going to wake up one day and realize that he himself has got a problem and go and get help? Well, there it is. There it is. I was going to refer to a reading I did, and I can't even remember when, because I'm so overwhelmed by this story at the moment, this saga. I did a reading on his use of therapy, and William's concern that he's being brainwashed basically by these alternative modalities that he's trying out, and all the drugs and everything else. And I saw in that reading, it was quite a surprising outcome, that he was going to be victorious over his problems, his mental health problems, not necessarily his personality problems. Let's just remember that. There's a whole other problem with Harry, and that is he's not really a very nice person. But we're talking about PTSD here. Now, now. And I saw in that reading, I think it was yesterday, as I say, I've completely lost track of what's going on in terms of my readings, but I saw that he was going to achieve some kind of equilibrium. He was going to attain that King of Pentacles. There is the awakening. It's coming. It really is coming. It's literal. The Judgment card is about awakening. Opening your eyes, having this realization, oh my goodness, this is what's going on. Is he going to have to go through something horrible before he gets to the awakening? Is something horrible going to happen? Is basically he going to fall apart? And we get the Eight of Swords. He is in a mental trap at the moment. He's in a mental trap. This is not a terrible card. This isn't the Tower. This isn't death. Those kinds of cards, I would say, or a Ten of Swords or something like that. Those kinds of cards, I would say, yeah, he's going to absolutely hit the bottom before he bounces up. This is not that kind of energy. There's something horrible. Question is being answered with somebody who is in a mental trap. Eight of Swords, and that's where he is at the moment. He cannot see the way out of the spiral that he's in. He's in kind of a vortex here. You can see the hair blowing, and it's almost a cyclone that's going around. I nearly said a bomb cyclone. It's interesting that Montecito is having to be evacuated because of heavy rain and flood warnings and mudslide potential. Isn't it interesting that that is going on right as Harry finds himself in the middle of this tempest that he himself has caused? So not going to be a catastrophic, terrible thing that's going to happen to him. This is bad. The Eight of Swords is not a comfortable place to be in ever, when you feel stuck and you can't see your way out. But at some stage, the awakening is coming. Let's ask Universe if it will tell us what is going to wake him up. What's going to happen? How's it going to go? Just give us a clue, please. I'm trying to scratch around and find things that aren't just appallingly banal to read on. All these grievances and grudges and terrible things. It's difficult. It's difficult at this point. We now know so clearly what is going on. Well, okay. I said it's not a Ten of Swords, but yeah, he's going to get to that Ten of Swords. So something's going to happen. And I got that card in the therapy reading. It could actually be, you know, that there is a breakthrough in therapy with whoever his therapist is, because it's exactly the same card that came out yesterday. Probably yesterday. It feels every day as if 1,000 years go by, because there's so much information to take in and process and clamber through and shower off afterwards, all this terrible energy. But it's kind of cleansing and cathartic and Shakespearean. And that's why we're all watching, I guess. If you are still watching, who knows at this point. But there's a Ten of Swords. Yeah, he's going to hit rock bottom. He is. That's the missing link between the Eight of Swords and the awakening. He is going to have a Ten of Swords moment. It's coming. I can't go on like this because it's just insanity. And I'm going to look at one of the potential reasons for a Ten of Swords, which is a possible divorce in the next reading. But here is his therapist again. Somebody is going to get through to him. I don't know if it's current therapist or someone else, but somebody is going to get through to him. It's a wise elder. It could even be somebody in the family gets through to him. In that card, they're being so careful with him. They're being so careful not to provoke and not to make things worse than they already are. And there is a possibility here. I know that he is a piece of you know what as a human being, a nasty piece of you know what. Have to tread carefully with YouTube and the machine that censors everything now. But yeah, it's going to happen. It's going to get worse. And then there is a wake up. There really is a wake up. interesting journey. This is why we're watching. This is why we're doing it. And that's your reading. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.